Good morning everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please do subscribe. If you're not, welcome and thank you for your continued support. Okay, I really do appreciate everyone's support. The comments that we get on across the board are fantastic. You know, we're building a fantastic community there in the Telegram group as well and in the channel, and I appreciate all your comments and likes, and sharing is caring. So continue share. I see so many people sharing the videos on Twitter. It's so good, it's brilliant. It's really good. Thank you for that, because obviously it just brings more people into the channel and brings more awareness to CoinsKid, which is what we want at the end of the day. So yeah, diving into Reef, then you can see it's acting positively. You know, we are looking at this WW bottom as we spoke about. Still potentially, you know, you've got to target a fallback here, potential fallback, which could create this kind of head and reverse inverse head and shoulders pattern here, guys. Okay, which we have spoken about yesterday, because you've come down, you've made the low, then you made a lower low, and potentially, you know, you could break out here, but we do seem to be in a level of resistance. You see that we can't actually close above this level. If we was to get that close, okay, and if we was to get that rebound there and it comes back, you will be looking at that inverse head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so just be aware. Okay, so that would be a great opportunity, to be honest with you, if Reef now started to reject this level. Okay, but it's looking super strong, but I'm just making you aware. If Reef was to come down, okay, and then sort of hit a bottom, okay, potentially this sort of level here, you might see it wick down to that sort of level. So that might be a good entry realistically if you're not in Reef yet and you do see it coming down and it doesn't get any lower than this level here. Okay, which is, we'll bring that up a little bit and I'll drop that in so you can be aware. Okay, if it doesn't get any lower than that, then this is an inverse head and shoulders, and okay, and it should play out theoretically, and you are going to look at that big pump, not initially, but you are going to look at the correction and the fallback and the retracement to that level there. Okay, which is a fantastic trade of around, we'll check it, you're potentially looking at a 19% trade there. But if you was to get this retest here, okay, if you was to get this second bottom, which would form the inverse head and shoulders, it would become the right shoulder. Okay, so just to clarify, you know, you got your shoulder, your head, and then your right shoulder. If you did see Reef come back down and get the bounce there, then you could potentially open a bit of a trade there, okay, which would see you push back up to test this as resistance. So that would be a 14% trade. So when you get back up there, you could close that trade, okay, and you'd be 14% in profit. Not financial advice, I'm just showing you now. I'm going to start showing more trades in these videos. Okay, so I hope that people sort of learn and stuff, and obviously I'll try and put a few more trades in there and you know, start helping people a bit more with that process. So you know, you could look for that rejection there and it come back down. Do target that. If it was to get a bounce off that, then I would look to be entering Reef at that point, and you would potentially be looking at a 14% trade there, because what would happen, it would come back up. Okay, it would come back up and it would get rejected there and sort of come back, close it. Okay, then when it goes back through, okay, you could leave it open if you want to take that risk, but these are the trades that we look for in the channel. Okay, and then you know, you're looking for that back test of support round here. It may come now, we'll talk about it in a moment, but it may come here. What you do when this goes through this resistance line, okay, you want to look for that back test of support, because it could fall back through and you've opened a trade up here, okay, and it falls back through and then you've lost the trade, because it sort of goes on to invalidate this entire move. So you want to look for that validation of this trade, of this pattern. Okay, and the validation is obviously getting to the target, that validates it 100%, but you do look for signals prior to it getting to these targets. Okay, you know, you want to see that push through, back test of support. As soon as it starts to go, you know it's on its way, and potentially, you know, you open that trade to take that profit. So that's basically it. Okay, so you know, look down here for a retest. I'm not saying it's going to come, I'm just saying that now you could be looking for a trade. Okay, the trade you could be looking for right now, so I don't mean to take that out, the trade that you could be looking for, you know, you could look at now this level here. If Reef could get through here, okay, get through, because you can see it sitting it as a bit of resistance. So if it could get through, back test it as support, you could open that trade there and you would be looking at that, I think it was 19%. So you look for that retest of support, look for that retest of support just there, and you're looking at a 19% trade on Reef. Okay, and as well, just to let you know that it won't get to that target overnight. You know, it might do, but you have to have patience. That is the target that it gets to. It's a fallback target, it's a retracement target, and you potentially something like this. Okay, so that's Reef, and what I'm going to do now is drop another level on the chart here for you to keep an eye on. Okay, just so you can keep an eye on Reef and what it's doing. I get so many questions. Is Reef bullish? Is this? And it's so difficult to answer. And I just say to people, just go and watch the video, you know, and then you'll get more of an answer. So we look good. We look like we're breaking this resistance now, okay? You can see we're just pushing the, oh, look, we're breaking out a little bit just there. So it's all good. We need to see that back test, okay? Look for that back test where you get the close. You get the close. That's so important. You get the close. You see this candle, it needs to close. So at the moment, it's 9 o'clock. That will close at 1 o'clock UK time. So when that gets that close, that's confirmation, okay? That's what you're looking for, that back test. That when I say back test, it's a close above the level of support that you're looking for, i.e. this one up here. You want that back test to the 55 EMA. You got it, confirmation, because the candle closed and then you've bounced off its support and you're marching on. And you know, Reef will potentially start and do something very similar here, where it gets above, gets that close above like it has there, and then forms a couple of candles and it starts marching on. So basically, another thing you can do, okay, is get your Fibonacci retracement tool. It's the third one down, the third column like that, and you come down, you got your Fib retracement, and what you do, you know that was the local top, okay, of this entire correction. So what you do, you drop it on the top and then you come down and you drop it on the bottom just like that, and then you've got these Fibonacci retracements. So you can see in the fibs, okay, you've got these levels of resistance on the way up. So when you're retracing, you're hitting these Fibonacci retracement levels. Okay, so you've hit that, you've not hit that yet, okay, you've not hit that. You will hit it in a retracement because this was your bottom. You fell from the top all the way down to the bottom and you start to retrace. So you've got through that. It was a bit of a struggle, as you can see, hitting the head. You closed above it, come back down, and then you were closing above it again. You continue closing above it for numerous time there, for a lot of time. You know, and it's looking good, looking reversed. But what you're going to do when you do get this close above this, okay, if you was to get this close above this, target these fibs as levels of resistance, because you will see it come up against those, okay? You will potentially see it march on, hit its head, get rejected, come back down, bounce off this level of support now, march on, get through that eventually. When it gets back through, march back, test it, and you're sort of looking at this, you know, these levels as it creeps up and get into that golden pocket, that golden ratio, which is bang on our target off this bottom, okay? So it's all good. It's confluence that, you know, we could potentially march on and get to those targets. So that's basically trading, yeah, and I hope you understand what I'm showing you there, and I hope, you know, I do get really good feedback that, you know, it's easy to understand and people are finding it educational, and that's the purpose of it, you know. Obviously drop the trade signals in as well, but I'm sort of teaching you and trying to give you the skill sets to bring these charts up and obviously have a go yourself, because that's what it's all about. It's not rocket science, okay? I do believe that anybody can do this, you know, young, old, male, female, anyone with a bit of knowledge how to bring the charts up can do it. So again, these charts are in the video description below. It says trading view, just click on that and you come up and you've got your ticker there, Reef.USDT, and then you play with your charts. 4 hourly, always look at the 4 hourly. You know, again, if you're seeing a larger correction, or just zoom out and it gives you reassurance of where the trend is. So yeah, we're looking good, we're looking healthy, okay? But do anticipate, you know, you do need to see this close above this resistance line here, which is this level. You have kind of got to close above it just there, a tiny close. So you're seeing that now. You're potentially seeing us pushing on, but failing that, like I've said to you, you know, you may come back and hit your head on the 55, or you may start to go lower, forming a third low, which would effectively form a inverse head and shoulders pattern there. So I hope I've answered a few questions for you there on Reef, and, you know, stay strong. It's a great project, and it's just had a level of consolidation, a correction. And like I said to you in an earlier video in the week, you know, Reef has corrected over 40%. Okay, and so it's had a major correction. You're looking at certain alts and stuff that have gone up, they've not had that correction yet. Okay, so do be careful if you're involved in any of those without major corrections, because they do come. Okay, and it's very common. So again, you've got various projects there like Theta, One, Dent, certain projects that have gone up exponentially, you know, to name a few. Just be careful of those, because they do get overheated, and they do have these corrections. Okay, so good luck. I'll see you soon in another video. Bye bye.